Welcome back, everyone, to the Pitre pod, man. It's actually the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, man. So, shout out to Thanksgiving. Shout out to the homies. Thankful for the homies. Thankful for the family. Thank you for the fans. Thank you for supporters. Thank you for the listeners. Thank you for more life. No Drake. Oh, no, I'm blanking out here. But listen, we're not here to talk about Thanksgiving. First off, I'm not a big fan of the holiday, not even gonna lie. But I'm here to talk about some spooky stuff. We about to get real spooky on the pod here today, guys. So the reason why I want to talk about spooky stuff is one, I remember I was just listening to some freaking like YouTube video or whatever, and they were talking about spooky shit and like their spooky experiences and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yo, I have a couple of spooky experiences of my own. So I just felt like, I don't know, I was in the mood to talk about that stuff, not even gonna lie. So first and foremost, man, when I talk about spooky stuff, I'm talking about like ghosts, demons, that kind of shit, man. So when it comes to spooky stuff, right, I'm a believer. I'm a firm believer of the spooky shit. Now, that being said, man, I don't want to interact with the spooky shit. There's some people they believe, they want to have their own experience. There are people who don't believe but want an experience, who want to believe. And there's people like me who believe and just like, yo, keep that shit away from me at all times, man. I do not want to fuck with that stuff, man. I do not want to fuck with any ghosts. None of that, man. I'm good. I can live my life not having those experiences. Even though I do have a couple experiences of my own, but I don't want any more, man. I don't want it. It's like, what can I do? It's one of those situations where you're just powerless. You're truly powerless. Like, you can't do anything. You can't scrap a ghost. You can't throw hands with a ghost. Like, you're going to take the L, man. Like, you can't see it. You can't fight it. Can't smell it. Can't touch it. Like, yo, you're just there for the ride, basically. And I just don't want to be in a powerless situation like that. I'm not even going to lie. So, yeah, having those spooky experiences is a hard body pass. And I will never go out of my way to try to search for one of those experiences. Like, yo, if like people who do like, you know, haunted house tours and like haunted prison tours, yeah, fuck all that. I'm not doing that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to interact with that. If a place is haunted, I'm getting the fuck up out of there. Like, yo, my mentality, like, I got the same mentality for the supernatural as black people, man. Black people don't fuck with the supernatural. Black people, as soon as some shit happens, they're out of there. They're not staying there to find out. They gone. And I'm the exact same way, man. I ain't messing with none of that stuff, dude. So as soon as anything spooky happens, I'm out of there. Like, if you bring out a Ouija board, we're throwing hands, because I do not want to play that game. First of all, like, you have fucking Milton Bradley, which is like the company that makes like all the other like board games like fucking Monopoly and all that shit. Like, they're making Ouija boards. Like, that's wild. Either way, man, I don't want to mess with that stuff. I don't want to play around with that stuff. I don't care if you say it's fake or not. I'm good. Get that shit out of my sight. That's my mentality when it comes to spooky stuff, right? And that's even for movies, man. I could watch a horror movie, but if it's supernatural, I'm good. I don't want to watch it. I've watched a few. Like, I watched a couple of Conjuring movies, Exorcism of Emily Rose. Like, I've seen a couple of them, man. I'm good, dude. I'm alright. I don't want to watch that shit. I don't want that shit being played in my house. I understand it's a movie, and a lot of it is exaggerated to the utmost degree, but your boy just don't want to see it. You want to call me a pussy, man? Go ahead. I'll take it. I am. But I don't want to see it, and I don't want to interact with it, man. I'm not even gonna lie. But that being said, I have definitely had some interactions or some just like spooky shit happened in my life, right? Which I want to go over. I want to talk about my spooky stories, man. And dude, yo, if you have a spooky story of your own, dude, just let me know. DM me, message me. I would love to hear it, love to read about it, love to talk about it on air if you allow me to. So share your spooky stories, and I don't mind sharing it to the world. That sounded terrible. But basically, here's my spooky story, right? I would say I have two. So I would say this is the most recent one. So I'm going to go over the most recent one, right? And this one is not really even that spooky. I'm not even going to lie to you. So in my current apartment building, right? Apartment that I'm currently living at. It's pretty old. It's over 100 years old, right? So motherfuckers have been living in this shit for hundreds of years. For 100 years, right? So many tenants have come and went, right, in this building. I kind of feel like this building was a hotel prior to an apartment complex. It kind of just gives off that vibe. But I don't know. Or maybe like an office building, possibly. I'm not sure. Anyway, so on the 7th, there's 3 elevators, right? There's 3 elevators. I know I'm fancy. And it's the middle elevator that I utilize the most, I guess. The one that comes the quickest. So in that middle elevator, this has happened to me multiple times. And from my understanding, it hasn't happened to anyone else, right? So your boy lives, I'm not going to give you my exact floor. I live on the 14th floor, right? I live on the 14th floor, and the elevator would, and this happened a couple times in the middle elevator, only in the middle elevator, it would stop at the 7th floor. It would stop at the 7th floor. The doors would open. No one would be there. And no one is walking 7 flights down. Doesn't make sense. So the doors would open. No one would be there. And I would try to press the button to close the doors, and it would not work. It would stay open for several seconds. At least I'm talking 10 to 15 seconds. Long seconds. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, like 1, 2, 3. Those kind of long ass seconds, right? Actual seconds. So it would just stay open no matter how many times you press that button. And then it will skip every other floor after and go directly to my floor. So numbers wise, I would just say 7 straight to 14, right? And this only happens with the middle elevator. This happened several times now. I want to say at least 4 or 5 times where it just stops on the 7th floor, always on the 7th floor, no other floor. It would stop there, doors would open, and it would just sit there, right? And listen, whatever's on the 7th floor, I want no beef. I want no problems. I'm good. I don't want to find out. I don't want to interact with you. I just want to get to my apartment. So that's happened several times, right? And the elevator has been inspected this year, actually. It's been inspected a couple months ago. So, it's good for another 2-3 years. But I don't know, man. It just keeps happening. And apparently it's only happening to me. That being said, whoever's on the 7th floor, man, I respect you. Just stay on the 7th floor, bro. Stay there. I don't want no problems. Just leave your boy be. Anyway, that's the most newest one, right? There was one that I have now as a teenager, but we need additional context to really go into this one. So this would have been a perfect topic to talk about during Halloween season, but it is what it is, right? We're talking about this during Thanksgiving season. So as a kid, my grandma's house is so fucking haunted. It's so haunted, right? So I didn't know that as a kid, obviously. So in my grandma's house, right? If you were to walk into my grandma's house, it was in the basement apartment. So you have the kitchen first, and the kitchen leads to the living room, and then to the right-hand side, there's a long hallway, right? So you keep walking down that hallway. First door to the left is her room, and then you have all the way to the back of the hallway, you have the bathroom. Then when you go to the back of the hallway, you make a left. That's the second room, the back room, right? It's a really, really small back room. Now, as a kid, I refused to go to the back of the hallway. I only want to stay in the living room, in the kitchen, and then the first half of the hallway. But once I go past my grandma's door, it just doesn't feel right. It's just a weird feeling. You feel like you're being watched. You feel like you're being looked at. The hairs in your back of your neck stand up. It just doesn't feel right. I would hate to be on that side of the apartment. And I remember, even as a kid, I would hate going to the bathroom in my grandma's house. I would hold it for as long as I can because I just hate being back there. Even if all the lights are on or whatever, I just hate being back there. I do not like being back there, right? And even to this day, man, I have multiple dreams where I'm in her apartment and I just hate being in that back room. I have fucking dreams where I'm living in that back room, which is my absolute fucking worst nightmare. So even as a kid, right, I did not fuck with that back room. It's especially the back room. Like, I hated being within that vicinity anyway, but especially in the back room, I did not like. So, come to find out, years later, that there was actually, unfortunately, decades prior, I think it was a little boy that got, like, brutally murdered in that back room. That's probably why I hated being in that back room, right? I hated being in that vicinity. I just didn't really like being in my grandma's house whatsoever because of that reason. Like, even when you're in the kitchen or you're in the living room, you kind of feel like you're being watched still. The only time where I felt safe to some degree is my grandma's room. But the back room and the rest of the apartment, I just felt not at ease. And especially if I had to go into the back room, bro, I just do not feel well, man. I just, like, every fiber of my being is telling me to get the fuck out of there. Like, I just don't like it. So fast forward, I'm a teenager, right? I'm a teenager, and there was a picture in that back room. There was before we even talk about that picture, right? She had a clown painting, a painting of a clown, which you can't really tell if it's a man or a woman. And it's smiling at you with its hand waved like this. And it's on a black backdrop, right? It's a painting. And my uncle gave it to my grandma, and apparently it was supposed to be given to me when my grandma eventually passes, which is hopefully no time soon. So thank God that shit got fucked up during the flood, because I don't want that thing. Love my grandma. I don't want that painting. It has to be a picture of the painting somewhere too. I don't want that painting, bro. I'm good. I would have took it, yes, but like, yo, one, I don't fuck with the painting. Two, dude, it's gonna give me a whole bunch of bad juju coming from that apartment. So thank God that painting got wrecked. Not even a lie. But anyway, there was another painting. It was a painting towards the back room, and it was of a night, and this painting was like super dark. I don't know why my grandma had this shit, dude. Like, it was really, really dark and dreary. So it was a knight, like, fully armored out on the horse with an axe that's dripping blood. You can't see the knight's face because he has a helmet, but his eyes are red. That's the painting. What the fuck? Why do you have that, Grandma? Like, that shit is super weird. To be in an old lady's house, a 60-year-old Puerto Rican lady's house, just have a fucking painting of some knight who just murdered someone. Like, yo, this painting was extremely eerie, right? It was cool. It was badass. But it was like, yo, this doesn't fit the vibe. So it was towards the back room, right? So I remember she gave me that painting. Don't know fucking why. A Christmas. I think I had to be like 16, right? So Christmas 2012, I guess. God, I'm getting old. Anyway, Christmas 2012, she gives me that painting. And like, okay, what the fuck? So she gives it to me, and I, of course, hug it in my room because it's a gift from Grandma, you know? Shout out to Grams. And as soon as I put it in the room, weird shit started happening to my room, right? So, for instance, I would see, because the room was dark, but you can still relatively see stuff in it, right? You can it's not completely pitch black. Like, you can, like, you know, once your eyes got adjusted to the darkness, you can see relatively, like, the different areas of the room and that kind of shit. So in my room, there'd be like a little dark black blob. I have to say waist high. So waist high is what, like 2.5 feet? Basically would have been the size of a kid from like 5, 6, 7 years old, right? So it'd be his little blob. And basically it would be darker than the rest of the room. That's the only reason as to why I'm able to see it. I can't see its face or what it is. It's just like a dark shadow, basically. Like a shadow in the night, which is super weird. So it'd be that little shadow thing just like running around. I'd see, and it would be super fast too, like fucking fast as fuck, boy. Still fast as fuck, boy. Just running around, bro. Just sprinting everywhere, right? So I just ignored it. I thugged it out. I don't know why. I don't know how. But I would just see it and I'm like, nah, it's not there. I'm imagining shit. I'm just like, go to sleep, basically. Yo, I was a thug, man. I truly was a thug. There's no, there's no greater thug thing you can do than just like ignore a ghost, you know? Like, that's true. That's a thug right there. Anyway, so yeah, this fucking thing is running around basically, and I would see it, only in the night, and I just ignored it, right? And this was going on for like a couple days, so I ignored it. And then I had a dream where I was fighting a ghost in her apartment, and the ghost punches me in the face, and it hits me on the right side of my face, right? So I'm fighting this, I'm throwing hands with the ghost. The ghost clocks me on the right eye. I woke up that day with a black eye, and I had that black eye for weeks, right? So I got clocked in the dream, and I woke up with a black eye. So finally, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm seeing and it gets worse, right? So I had this thing for a couple days, and I remember, because I used to go and play basketball, because we lived right by a basketball court during that time, and during that time of my life, I was playing a lot of basketball, so I go to play basketball, right, often, and my mom was like, this had to be like spring or summer of 2012, excuse me. So I remember my mom called me, and my sister would be home, and I would go play basketball. My sister's like 10 at the time, 10, 11. So Natalie, so my mom called me. She's like, yo, you can't leave Nat alone at the house. I'm like, why? Like, she's 11. Like, she's fine. She's like, no, you have to be there when I'm away. I'm like, why? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I've been fucking leaving her here and going to play basketball all the time. Like, well, what's the issue now? She was like, Natalie called me frantically crying that your closet door is shaking. And I'm like, it's just the wind. Just tell her to close the window. She's like, the windows are closed, but your closet door would violently shake. Like if someone grabs the handle and just starts shaking it. And Natalie called my mom frantically crying that fucking the door was shaking. So I was like, fuck. I'm like, all right, I gotta get this painting out of the room, basically. I'm like, yo, I had never experienced that. I didn't hear that or see that, but I was just like, all right, like it's time to get this stupid painting out of the room. Like I gotta fucking throw it out. So I took the painting, right? And I'm about to go downstairs and throw it out. Now, here's the thing, right? Because we lived on the second floor. So there was only 2 floors. It was kind of like a townhouse in a way, where there's only like 2 floors, right? So I live on the second floor. Then, the homeowners live in the first floor. So within that hallway, right? So if I exit my apartment, there's like a little stairway inside of the house. So there was a stairway inside the house that, you can go to the first floor and you can go to the basement. I was going to throw it out in the basement, right? Because that's where the trash cans were. So I'm going to throw it out in the basement. And within that hallway, there's 2 lights. So there's a light at the very top, and there's a light next to the first floor. And that turns on the light for the entire place, right? And they're like the lights where, like, if I turn it on and someone flicks it off in the bottom floor, it will completely turn off and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there's the light, right? So there's a light switch, 2 light switches for the same light in that little staircase, right? In that little staircase, hallway, whatever. So I'm going down, right? So basically there was 1 stairs, a little wraparound, 2nd stairs. So I can see both light switches from my point of view. I'm like on a little wraparound. I'm literally have this stupid painting in my hand. I'm in the little wraparound, right? So I can see both light switches. I can see the one up top for my apartment, and I can see the one down below for the homeowner's apartment, right? So I can visually see both light switches. I am the only person in this little staircase hallway thing. It's just me. There's no one else there, right? So, and there's no 3rd switch. There's only 2 switches, and I can see both of them. As I'm walking with a stupid painting, one of the switches, I don't know which one, turns off. So now I'm in the dark in this hallway, at night with this stupid fucking painting. And again, I heard the switch shut off, but I could see both of them. I don't know which one, but if someone was there, I would have saw them. That's the thing. I have clear view on both switches. If someone was there, I would have saw them. I didn't see either of them. But fortunately, I didn't see which switch turned off. I think it was the first floor, to be honest with you. But it fucking turned off on me while I'm holding this stupid painting. At that point, I'm like, oh, nah. I got to get the fuck out of here. So I fucking book it downstairs, throw that painting in the garbage, ran back upstairs, turned on the light, fucking went to my room. And after that, once I got the painting out of there, the room was good. I didn't see any of this shit anymore. The black eye went away. Nat didn't cry about the closet door shaking. The light switch never turned off again. So we were good to go after that. But that was definitely super fucking weird. Like, 3 back-to-back things where it's getting fucking clocked in the eye in a dream and then getting the black and blue on that same spot. I got clocked, seeing a little figure running around, then fucking the lights turning off on me when I'm seeing both switches and there's no one there. Like, if I would have hung out to that painting a little bit longer, I would have continued to see some shit, man. And I don't want to see some shit. I'm good, dude. I am super good. But yeah, those are my spooky experiences, unfortunately. If you have spooky experiences of your own, please tell me. I would say I think some people, they can either sense it or they can't. That's what it is, right? You either have the ability to sense it or you don't have the ability to sense it. There's no in between. So there's people who can live in a fucking haunted room and feel nothing and not be bothered or anything. And there's other people that it affects them. So I feel like spooky stuff only happens to people who have that natural sixth sense inclining in a way. So I think you either have or you don't. There's a lot of people who search their fucking whole lives to have that experience and never do. I do think if the place is haunted enough, anyone can have an experience, but I think some people are just more in tune to it and some people are not in tune to it whatsoever. And I feel like I'm one of those people that are unfortunately kind of in tune to it. And I don't think I'm in tune to it as far as seeing. I think I'm in tune to it as far as feeling. Like if I walk into an area or walk into a house or whatever, and if it's haunted or some shit went down, I feel like I can feel it. It's a different kind of energy, It kind of feels like weighted gravity in a way. Like you feel pressure in a weird way. Like the pressure of the room, pressure of the environment. That's how I describe it. So, like a good instance of this, I remember I went to one of my friend's houses and we were entering through the basement and going upstairs, which is mad random. And as soon as I walk in, I was like, yo, this place is not it. As soon as and not because, it was fucking dark in the basement, but I was like, yo, this place is not it. I was constantly looking over my shoulder in that house the entire time I was there. And I was only there once. So I was constantly just literally fucking, even when we're all in his room chilling, I'm constantly looking around because I'm just yo, if I look into the hallway or some shit or I went to the bathroom, I'm just looking around everywhere because I'm constantly feel like I'm being watched. It just didn't feel right. That whole house didn't feel right? So I remember he was actually moving. His whole family was moving from that house, and that was his childhood home. Now I remember telling him yo, the place is haunted, right? He was like, yo, it is. What the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I fucking feel it. And he was telling me stories about the shit that he's seen and that kind of stuff while living there. And he was like, damn, that's crazy how you knew before I even told you. I'm like, bro, it's obvious. You can feel it as soon as you walk in. This place is something's wrong here. So I don't know. I just feel like I have that kind of inclining in a way. But there's people who can feel it and there's people who can see it. I'd rather be someone who can feel it. I don't want to be someone who can see it, man. I don't want to see a ghost, bro. That shit is so trash, man. Especially ghosts our generation, dude. A ghost gonna come out of nowhere, hit the stanky leg and disappear into the night again. I don't want to see that, man. I don't mind walking in the place and it just feels uneasy and I can get the fuck out of there. But if I'm fucking seeing apparitions and stuff of fucking old white dudes in Civil War uniforms, good, man. I don't want to deal with that. That's a different level of smoke that I do not want to handle. So, yeah, this is a spooky app, man. Very spooky app. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you have any spooky experience of your own, please share. More than happy to hear it. More than interested to hear it. And see you guys next week. Bye.